Alright, so today I'm going to take a look at another reverb, uh, delay, modulation, however you could classify this pedal. It's definitely not a drive. This is the Wampler The Doctor. And this is one that you won't really find around quite as much. I don't know if that is from the obvious licensing issue that they might have run into calling this the Doctor. But it's a really cool effect, and from my understanding, I think this was designed at the request of Brad Paisley for an album he did, or maybe it was a song called The Wheelhouse. And Brian made several of those and made them for all the members of his band and everything, and then decided to make it its own pedal available to us. Now, I said that it's not, easy to find anymore. It's not one that I think maybe they still make. But this, I don't know if you could call it a formula or algorithm or anything, can actually be found in their Metaverse pedal, which has a few of the other Wampler delay reverb, I should say delay types in there. So just to get into this one, I'm just going to dive in. I've got my kind of Fender sound pretty straight up here. Let's see. Here's my volume. I need more volume. There we go. Not really pushing it with drive or anything at the moment. There we go. Alright, so everything pretty straight up. Let's see what it sounds like. Turn it on like this. Cool. So do you hear the difference between this and the Hall of Fame that I was doing? It's not just about the delay itself there and how long it goes. It's that kind of modulation that you're hearing at the same time. So let's mess around a little bit. Let's go up on the depth. So obviously that's how deep into the decay it's getting. So down lower. A little bit. All the way down. It's doing stuff, but very subtle. Let's go up. Okay. Cool. And then obviously the rate is going to be like how fast it goes, not the delay time. Interesting. It's doing some, but it doesn't feel like it's making near as much of a difference as the depth tone does right there. Let's go ahead and mess with the tone. That's kind of cool. I like that. Then down with the tone. Maybe not as bright on some of the repeats. It's kind of cool though. Yeah. Interesting. Let's see. The number of repeats. So if it's down low, obviously only getting how many right there? Right, about 5. As I go up, you're about 12 there. So at a certain point, you get into this range. I'm going to cut that down. You get that like it's feeding back into itself there, which is really cool. Let's keep the repeats about here. Let's bring down the delay mix first. So you can hear it's still there, and it's still going. But it's very subtle. It's not like getting in the way too much as if it was up here and I was doing the same thing. So much it's like stacking up there. It's not really the sound I'm going for, playing that way anyway. that's cool. Just hit a chord and hold it. Or hit a chord and stop it. You can really hear what it's doing. A lot more subtle if you just let it ring. That's cool. Let's do this. Now, you see, as I turn the delay knob, this blinky light starts going kind of crazy. Very short delay time. I like that sound that you get too. Shifting the delay times around. So lots of delays. It's not so lots of delays. That's what this is controlling. It's the speed of the delay. Some interesting sounds in there. Keep it from feeding back on us again. And just to let you know, these lights are a little brighter than they are right here. I have glued a little plastic thing over it, similar to what I did with the plumes, to kind of help make this not quite as blinding. It's not as bad as like MXR or some Earthquakers that I've seen, but when you're just like staring down at it for a long time, it can kind of get to me a little bit there. So that's messing with all that. Put this pretty much straight back here. Let's do a little bit with the subdivision. So right now I'm just doing plain old boring quarter notes. We've also got options for eighth notes. So this is quarter. Obviously eighth notes are going to be twice as fast. So even with the delay all the way up, still pretty fast. And if I go up, like way up like that, it's almost like a vibrato-y sound. And you can use this tap tempo. I love tap tempo. For those that don't know how it works, you hit it once, then you hit it again, and then it snaps the time to whatever you tapped out. So like a real fast one. Now, since it's still set to eighth notes, if I'm counting out 1, 2, then it's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So, another option for you. Kind of layers nicely with whatever you're tapping out. If you want it to be a little bit more obvious what you're doing, you can toggle it over to the dotted eighths. That way the repeats are not falling on each of the downbeats. And then, of course, we have this triplet beat right here, which would be 3 notes in the space of 2 quarter notes. I could sit here and just keep playing with it. I love the way that this one sounds. That Hall of Fame is cool, and it has a lo-fi delay on it, but it's nothing like what you get here as far as the controls and just the cool options that you get with this. I think this is a super underrated pedal. And again, if you are having trouble tracking down one of these, the algorithm for it is in the metaverse. So just consider that. I would love to know more about this TT in and out that's at the top of the pedal right here. I know that when he was first putting this one out, he said that that could be a hookup for future other delay pedals, being able to chain them together so you could do tap tempo on one and it syncs the other ones to it. I've got some other devices that do things like that in Wampler products, so I'm not sure if that is something that it can take. Like it doesn't have to be linked with another one of their products that has yet to be made. It could, I wonder if it could work with a global tap tempo signal coming from something like an HX Stomp or something. One other thing to point out, of course, I was doing mono and stereo with the Hall of Fame, and this one just has the in and out, so I'm only doing mono, but I still feel like it's doing an awesome job of making it feel like it's taking up a stereo space. I'm not plugging into the front of it, obviously, guitar into the Simplifier, and then from there into the Wampler and returning. You can put it in the front of it there, especially if you're doing like some kind of shoegazy, driven thing, having the delay reverb before your distortion, but it's going to add a lot of noise. Some people could say desired noise. I might explore that at another time here, but I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you soon.